Hey there. No, this is not another December kayak vlog. I'm just out walking around because I wanted to show you something new. Well, actually, it's something new at a place that is old, but actually sort of new. Right now I'm at the point where the original bridge crossing the Missouri River, which was built in 1910 to connect to Jefferson City, was built. And that was replaced, I couldn't tell you when, I'd have to look it up, by that bridge, long before I came here. And the reason I'm here is to show you what is downstream. Yes, it has something to do with the river, but you can't quite see it from here. You can see part of it right there, but I'm going to have to go out onto the bridge to show you what is downstream. Now, I can imagine it's going to be loud because of the traffic, and it's probably going to be bouncy because of the traffic going across it if the bridge flexes. But we'll see what happens, and I can tell you about what's something new, about that something new. And then I will head downstream to show you. So, I'll be right back.
Hey, Ray. Hey, I needed somebody to pull me. Well, I'll go find somebody. How's it going?
So yeah, there I am on Adrian's Island, except it's not an island. Sometimes it is, or has been in the past, but it's not. It's a spit of land off of the bank on the Missouri River at Jefferson City, and it's separated from the city by railroad tracks, Union Pacific Railroad, and a bridge was built this year. It's called the Bicentennial Bridge, with the hopes it would be completed by the bicentennial celebration in August, but there were construction delays due to weather, I think. And they had a dedication today, so my timing was perfect. As I was getting here, hundreds of people were going back across the bridge, so I didn't have to go through crowds of people. But the mayor, the governor, because it's the state capital, you know, so everybody was here. And it's still waiting to be sodded or have grass grown, but there is, I think it said that there's about a half a mile of paved trails, and then going that away a half a mile is a road right now for construction, and I walked down that for a half of a mile, and that goes to the end of the park. That'll eventually be an unpaved trail that loops over closer to the river and comes back. And there are a couple of eagles' nests there. Oh, in fact, looking now, I can see eagles sitting on a branch. Let's see if I can zoom in. Let's right there. Two bald eagles. And that is a couple of 100 yards away. I did get pictures of that one nest, and talking to the parks personnel, she said that the other one is actually twice as big, and it's only been here for a year. So, you know, they return and they just keep building up the nests. So, anyway, in the early 60s, Harry Adrian was driving across the bridge from Jefferson City, and he looked down and saw the wing dams. There are dikes that go out at an angle in the river. I've talked about those before, and they control the flow of the river and help keep the bank from being washed out. Well, he knew that they wouldn't be above water all the time, and that they would affect the current, and that it would swirl inside there and it would deposit, and that there would be land there. So he went and applied to purchase 100 acres of land, which would be currently then under the river. And he was granted it. He bought it for $5 an acre in 1967 when it closed. Some of that sediment was underwater because the river rises and falls. So in 1974, he donated it to the city with the thought that it would be something to benefit the city someday in the future. Well, plans were made. Let's put hotels, a golf course, restaurants. That never materialized. It's a lot of money. So it sat waiting for who knew what. But finally, enough money was raised, a few $1,000,000, and it's now a park. And to get across the railroad tracks, they built the Bicentennial Bridge. And this year being the Bicentennial of Missouri, it was completed just before the end of the year. And yeah, it's pretty cool actually. It'd be pretty cool. Half-mile of trails, that extra half mile, which will be a mile loop of unpaved trail. And yeah, there's a concrete area over there, which I think that's where it's going to be. There's going to be a human-size chessboard and places for other interactive stuff here on Adrian's Island. They say at some time parts of it will be underwater. I mean, there's been floods that have brought the level up quite a bit, so it could end up being underwater, but it's nothing that stays. So, and looking at the view that I had from the bridge that crossed the river, you can see where land is forming in between the dikes. You know, it continues to form. So yeah, the wing dams. Anyway, so this is river related, but it's not a kayak video. Ciao folks, and vlog on.